Hey guys, Bryan Bradford here from Sunflower Shop, and this beautiful young lady sitting next to me is my daughter Britton.
Hi everyone!
Let's talk about the flu. You've been sending me lots of emails asking me, what do you take for flu prevention? Well, today I want to talk about the top 5 things that are out there that I use pretty much every year, at least in our arsenal. Number 1 is colloidal silver. Colloidal silver is important for antiviral, antifungal. We use it for even wound care, right? We got in our first aid kit. So pretty much this goes everywhere with us when it comes to traveling abroad. If you're flying on an airplane, you definitely want to make sure you got some colloidal silver with you. It's also pretty tasteless. It tastes like water when you spray it in your mouth.
Yeah.
You haven't tried it.
It makes it great, easy to take, and it's also really good for strep throat, which is also going around.
The next thing I want to show you is mushrooms. Mushrooms have tons of research to help your immune system get stronger, helps modulate that immune system. They got a lot of good mushrooms in here like chaga and reishi, turkey tail. All these things have been researched to help your immune system stay strong and fight off those bacteria and viruses that are out there. So definitely mushrooms is part of our arsenal. The third thing is probiotics. And in this case, not just any probiotics, because there's a lot of good probiotics out there. But this particular one I like for one reason. It's good for strep and the flu. It's got a few certain strains in there that what I'll have a lot of people do is they'll take 2 a day. One in the morning I have you bite down on it and basically swallow it. And the second one we actually just swallow only so it gets into the gut. The reason for this is because it really helps a lot of the bacteria that usually resides in the back of our throat. And so that's why it really makes most people's throat feel really good, really fast. So very, very important is the probiotic.
The only downside to that probiotic is that it tastes really bad when you do bite down on it, but it makes your throat feel so much better after you take it.
It pretty much tastes like dirt, doesn't it?
Yes.
It is a soil-based probiotic. The fourth, this is one of my favorites.
My favorite too.
Definitely elderberry. If you haven't tried elderberry, you need to. Elderberry is very, very important for one major function. It stops the virus from replicating. So it doesn't really necessarily stop you from getting the flu, but if you do contract the virus or bacteria, it stops the replication of it. So that means it's going to shorten the length and the duration that you're going to have the flu. Britton here just had the flu about, what, a week ago?
A week ago.
She flew to New York, flew on a plane. She didn't take her pills.
Did not.
Didn't take them with her on this in that case. But basically she came back and started getting symptoms. And what was your symptoms at that time?
I came up with a fever of about 103. I had this really bad cough and sore throat with a headache. So I started taking the elderberry. And it started making me feel a lot better really fast.
In fact, her fever broke in 12 hours, and she was pretty much over the flu in, what, 3 days totally?
Right.
So that's amazing. When you get on the good things that stop the replication, you can really make a difference in the length of that you're going to experience those symptoms. So that's what's so important about elderberry, and it's one of my favorites. Another reason I really like this liquid one by Cassie Green, it's actually an elderberry syrup. It's a local company. They're here in Texas. And what was some of the favorite things that you liked about it?
The honey is local in it, and it tastes amazing. It's really good.
They also add some ginger to it, some cinnamon to it. So it's a very good, complete immune system modulating herb. And so elderberry, you can't go wrong with that. Number 5, definitely most of you already know about this, but vitamin D. Vitamin D, as many of you know, is not a vitamin, it's a hormone. In fact, this hormone is one of the most important things in the body for gene expression, which means there's about 3,000 of your 25,000 genes that have to really do with your immune system. And vitamin D regulates those 3,000, so it's needed for every certain function of the immune system. When you got too low of vitamin D, it's going to be hard to regulate that system to fight the bad guys when you get them in. So be sure to get your vitamin D, and if you're not sure if you're low on it, get it checked. Very important to do that with your doctor. So those are pretty much my top 5 and must-haves in our arsenal for flu prevention, for strep, just for a good all-around cold and flu season. Now, if you get the flu and you already got it, there's one other thing. Try to pronounce this word.
Nope.
Asilo. We just call it Asilo. So Asilo basically is a homeopathic that actually has clinical studies. They did a double-blind, placebo-controlled study that showed that it shortened the length of the flu symptoms. So when you got your first symptoms of scratchy throat or fever starting to come on, start taking this at that time. It's not really for prevention, it's when you actually contract the issue. So definitely start taking that, and that will also knock down the time that you're going to experience those flu or strep-like symptoms. She's been taking that since she was 4 years old.
Absolutely.
Easily.
And they're very tiny capsules, right? And it tastes like sugar.
Yeah, they're little sugar pellets. You just put it on your tongue and dissolve, so even it's easy for the kids to take them too as well, hence why she's been taking it when she was so young. Another big thing that she does a lot of in her room, I know, is something called VShield Blend. It's a sunflower shop formula. We actually have if you're familiar with thieves oil that's out there, you're familiar with the thieves.
Right.
Same formula, just under sunflower shop formulation. So very important to have the clove and the lemon peel that's in there, eucalyptus. You've seen tons of benefits. What do you do with the oil in your room?
Right. You can diffuse it in your room. If you are traveling, if you're going on an airplane, you can always stick some right under your nose, and that helps a lot as well.
And one of the most important things for when you have the flu or you're getting strep is what?
I don't know.
Hydration. Hydration. What is Dad always telling you to do?
Keep staying hydrated.
Keep staying hydrated. That's right. And so what we do is I use electrolyte packets. There's a lot of ways to hydrate yourself besides just drinking straight water. But little electrolyte packets in your water while you're sick. Doesn't matter if you just got the cold or runny nose. Make sure you stay hydrated. You need those minerals of the calcium, magnesium, potassium. Those are so important for your cells and for your energy when you're trying to fight bad things like infections. So definitely stay hydrated. I pretty much make my kids drink at least one of these a day.
Absolutely. And they're super easy to travel with. You can just take a little packet and pour it in your water bottle and shake it up, and it works perfect.
It all keeps it pretty simple.
Yeah.
But those are pretty much some of the tips and tricks that we use here right now to try to keep away that flu and definitely, or at least shorten the duration of it in her case. But if you have any more questions, please, post on Facebook the questions or comments that you got. Please like and share this video to anybody you know who needs this information, because we know as a family, especially the Bradford family at Sunflower Shop, we know these things work. And so it can really help someone else out there, because we know Tamiflu's on the shortage list, which we don't know how much that really works anyway. But these have been proven over the years to really do that. My daughter's testimony to it.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us today, guys, and I'll post more videos in the near future.
Thank you.